A couple other players I do want to ask you about, because it's guys that I've just not seen nearly as much. Tell me about this Dyson Daniels, because you've got him 7.
Played the whole year in the G League, struggled with his jump shot below 30%, looked much better shooting the ball and everything pre-draft. But like with that dude, it's the playmaking that you want. That dude, like with Giddey last year out of Australia, there's like some pretty good guards coming through, man. Giddey, Daniels now. This guy can pass. Has real creativity. He's the type of guy who effortlessly can throw those kickouts to corner three-point shooters, can throw the lobs. Just a reliable, creative player. Like, you know how some passers, they have a knack and a flair for making those tough passes through tight windows, but they make silly mistakes. Daniels is the type of guy who makes all of those passes while also limiting turnovers. So, like, the fact that the shot looks better through pre-draft, that's encouraging for him and is really the driving factor behind his rise up draft boards from like a mid-first guy to, mid-lottery.
Tell me about Ousmane Dieng.
Might be the sleeper of the draft. Could be the steal of the draft if all things work out. But like he's a swing, right? And he could end up being a player that doesn't work out because he's so raw. He has not been great production-wise playing in New Zealand last year. But 6'10", his best skill is his ability to handle the ball. He's a good passer for his size, a willing, hard-working defender. So, if all that's a baseline for success, right? 6'10", long, versatile, can pass. It's a matter of what level does he reach as a shooter, So it's not just like, $1 million move, 10-cent finishes. Mm-hmm. What level does he reach as a shooter, but also defensively, the awareness, like for many young players, and he's one of the youngest in the draft, just getting smarter on the defensive end of the floor. But I like Dieng a lot. I have him top 10 on my board. And if I'm a team like the Pelicans,
so maybe he's the Grand Slam swing.
Yeah, I think he is. But like if you're a team that already has a lot and you don't necessarily need anything at all, I'd love to take a swing at Ousmane Dieng.
Like the idea, and when I say that, just the idea that it's, even if it's low percentage, there's a percentage he could be amazing. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's what I'm talking about. That idea that there's, okay, I know that some of those guys, like, they're not going to be amazing. But they might flame out. If it all went together, look, this happened once upon a time with Giannis, where somebody looked at him and said, man, now obviously he grew, but if it all works, this guy could be, and clearly it worked out a millionfold when you're talking about becoming one of the greatest players of all time. Yeah. But
that worked out better than like the best case scenario.
Yeah, that's more than a grand slam, right?
Yeah, but even the realistic best case scenario for Giannis, pre-growth spurt was still a high level player where you're like, 6'9", can handle the ball. He plays hard, versatile. I mean, even that best case scenario was impressive. Same for Dieng.
Could be very special.
Yes,
if it all came together. Yeah. You think that's true of the Dieng kid?
I do. Yeah, I like him a lot.
All right, now let me ask you about a couple other ones that I don't know as much about. MALAKI Branham, Ohio State.
An unexpected one and done. He's a bucket-getting guard more than a passer. I like him. Good mid-first-ish round draft pick.
All right, the ones that you have next, I know Mark Williams. I know Tari Eason. I know more about those. I don't know as much about the kid from Santa Clara. Jalen Williams, you said he's a riser?
Yeah, you should check him out. Plug his name into YouTube. Watch some Jalen Williams. He led Santa Clara in assists the last 2 years. That's not going to be his role in the NBA, but I think for a guy like him to display the passing chops that he did in college bodes well for his ability to play in any type of system because he can handle in a pitch for you. He can primarily be a good spot-up shooter, hit over 40% of his catch-and-shoot threes. He's a smart, high IQ player who, puts a lot of effort into the game. There's just, like, what can you not like about Jalen Williams other than the fact that he is sort of unproven against top-level competition? That's it. That's like really the main knock that you can have on him is he's unproven.
So we talk about it every year where we say, hey, there's those guys that were they were penalized for age. They were penalized for the fact that they did play 3 or 4 years in college. And then we look up and we say, God, all these teams passed on Jalen Brunson, for instance, right? He's probably going to make $100 million this summer. If there is a guy like that even we're seeing it now, that maybe even yourself, you feel like, maybe I am too low on that guy. The guy that people are being ageist with, that's highly successful. We know he's a good basketball player, but not maybe as intriguing on the next level. Is there one of those guys that's like a upperclassman type?
I mean, I don't know if there is on my board this year. But like maybe somebody like a Christian Koloko. I have him 21 on my board, but like there are a lot of people you talk to around the league that are like, hey, he's a second round pick. He's 22 and he's still raw. And he was a junior in Arizona. But I really like his game, and I'd be willing to bet on him in the 20s. He was a late bloomer. He got a late start playing basketball. I mean, I think it's understandable why he is a late bloomer. How about
David Roddy?
Oh, David Roddy, one of the weird body all-stars in the draft this year.
But he's like conference player of the year, got this football body with the 7-foot wingspan. Like he's got, and he obviously was good, right? He won the conference player of the year in his conference, which was a very good conference, actually, this past year. Maybe him?
Yeah, I mean, he could be another one. He'll go in the 30s, I think. I'd be surprised if he fell out of the 30s. Do you think with a guy like him, he should go higher with his amount of skill level? He's just a weird player, though. He's 6'5", and
he just feels like one of those guys that we'd look back on and, he was good. Like, what did you need to see? Like, he was a lot better than a lot of those other college players.
He's a strange player. 6'5", 260 pounds. And he played quarterback in high school. No, he wasn't a lineman. He played quarterback.
Did you read that thing about this morning about Paolo being amazing at football?
No, I didn't. Where was that?
I was like, what the hell? Paolo Banchero was like, could Paolo Banchero been an NFL first-round pick too? And I'm like, Paolo Banchero played football?
Okay.
Not only did he play football, he was like awesome. I'm like, that's crazy.
Okay, so that was at Sporting News. Stephen Nell wrote that. Before starting at Duke, top NBA draft prospect had first-round potential on football field.
That's crazy. I love guys that play football.
Yeah.
And I told you when I was around this guy, he's huge. Like, he's a full-grown-ass man.
I think Paolo's going to be really good.
I think Paolo's going to...
I love that
next
dude.
year, if I had to bank on who's going to score a bunch, be ready to play next year, I think I'd probably say he'd be at the top.
Yeah, like he'd be your rookie of the year pick, right? He'd be your rookie of the year pick, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think if it's not from, assuming it's from one of the sorry teams, I mean, I think he could come in the league and average. If he gets drafted by Houston, he could average 20 points next year without trying. He's that big, bro.
Banchero played quarterback too. Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Yeah. Yep. I'm also a little surprised like this hasn't been a bigger pre-draft thing. Paolo Banchero.
I like football guys.
Yeah.
I like guys that played football too. You know what I mean? And that plays into the whole David Roddy thing. He looks like a football guy.